This week, I'm gonna send you all flying with a walloping blow and leave you stone soured. Or at least that's what anime translators want you to think this means. This video is brought to you, as always, by our lovely Patreons. Thank you guys so much. You truly are the Bakugo to my Deku. And someday, people will write erotic fan fiction of us. And I will read that someday and be thoroughly disgusted. All right, all jokes aside, hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Chad. This week, I'm gonna be breaking one of my own personal rules. But it's okay, I made this rule, so I'm allowed to break it. But you guys aren't. I am. You're not. I am. So this week was actually pre-recorded, or supposed to be pre-recorded, about 3 weeks ago. And as you guys have noticed by the change in the live stream last Saturday, we are still suffering the effects of the great coffee spill of 2019, so this finally gives me an excuse to make a video that I've actually had written and ready to go for 2 years now and just haven't had the ability to do it. It's not exactly long enough to be a full-fledged video, but it also kind of breaks one of the rules I established for my channel, and that rule is I suck at teaching. I'm sure the comment section has been saying that for years, but it's true. There are 1,000 better channels than mine to learn Japanese from. In fact, I've devoted my channel to reviewing and distributing information on all sorts of great free learning supplies and textbooks and websites and YouTube channels and methods. My job isn't to teach you Japanese, my job is to equip you so you feel good enough to take the journey on your own. I am not a ranger. I'm not guiding you on the path of fluency. I'm a armorer, a craftsman. You come to towns along the way and ask, hey, what are the best goods for this area? And I equipped you for that, and then you are off on the woods on your own. With that being said, I am stepping out of my bounds as a armorer and trying to be a teensy bit of a guide, just for one specific piece, and that's because I discovered this 2 years ago. I couldn't find it in any textbook. I couldn't even find it in dictionaries unless it was already conjugated with a verb, and that word is butsu, and not bad and bougie, but it comes from the word uts, which is to strike, to hit, to do a little of this. Now, seeing this word on its own might not stir up a ton of feelings, but what if I give you a bunch of examples from every shonen anime that there has ever been? In fact, if you, I'm assuming, are like me, you probably partake in Japanese media in order to learn. And I guarantee you at some point you've been watching the Narutos, the One Pieces, the My Heroes, whatever it happens to be, and you've heard some version of this. In fact, it's often conjugated as just bu with a little chisaitsu or bun. And essentially, the reason I really fell in love with this grammar, A, because it was in a lot of the mangas I was reading at the time, and when I finally learned what it did, it just made my heart stir. But secondly, it's what it does. It makes things violent. That's literally the entire purpose of this one piece of grammar. I don't even think necessarily I'd call it grammar. I believe it's called a augment prefix. You add it to the front of a word, and it turns the verb violent and has a physicality to it. So I'll give you a couple examples from the pictures that I just did a basic Google search of earlier. We'll start with a word like naguru. Super easy. It's one of the violent-y words that you hear in a lot of manga and anime, and it basically just means hit. Now, when you really want to be violent, you could change it to bun naguru. Now that is a delicious way for saying to kick the ass of, to literally beat you in a physical way. Do you see what this thing does? It on its own doesn't have a meaning, and it doesn't necessarily make the full word into a new thing. It just adds a physical, violent dimension to the word. We'll do one that you'll hear all the time. Again, this is korosu, to kill. I'm sure you guys have heard this all the time, everywhere, but bukurosu, again, something you'll hear all the time. It turns to kill and sprinkles on to beat to death. So you have kill, which it is a violent act in of itself, but it could be slashing, it could be swiping, it could be, breaking someone's neck, and it adds a physicality, much like a hit, like the pounding of meat, and it becomes to beat to death. So you are still killing the person, but now it's more violent with a physicality to it. There are tons of examples of how to use this. I'm not gonna make this extensive because, again, what my channel is not teaching you the thing. I'm showing you the thing because I don't trust textbooks to show this to you because it is not very polite, and 90% of textbooks are for business Japanese. I'm showing you this because I love you and I want you to be able to read the Narutos, the One Pieces, the My Heroes, and actually understand what they're saying. He's not just saying to kill. He's saying, I'm going to beat you to death with my bare hands. So, I actually have some homework for you guys. If you saw my video earlier, I'm just using this site because they have Japanese subtitles for this specific series, but you can use any site that you want. Homework for everybody watching this that wants to get better at using Boon, Buchi, or Bu. Go to dieweeb.org. This is not sponsored by them. I have no affiliation with them. It's just what I'm using. And look up any episode of My Hero Academia where there's a fight scene with Bakugo. And basically every time before there's a unbelievable explosion and thrust smacking someone into the dirt, he yells whatever verb he wants: to smush, to smash, to hit, to kill, to brutalize, all of it. And he adds boot to it, just because that's his personality, is this kind of explosive, impactful nature. So the writers of the show wrote that into his character, and he's a really good source of seeing it used often and used well. I will put out a warning, because now that I've taught you something that you're not going to see in a textbook, I do not need you guys calling me going, hey Chad, I got my butt handed to me in Tokyo because I said I killed this test and some dude took it as fighting words. Don't complain to me. Don't talk to people like this. Unless you are extremely confident in how you are kidding around with your Japanese friends to be able to use this. I just wanted to give you guys a source that is so frequent in Japanese media and pop culture that I didn't see sufficient explanations of online over the years of me studying, and I wanted to give you guys kind of a quick summary of how it's going to work and how you can use it, and when you come across it in reading, what does it mean? If you guys like, you know, shake up. If you like this video, do like it down below. All that other stuff. Comment if you have any questions. Subscribe if you like this video and the rest of the nonsense I do. But I just remember this. We actually had a manga club slot open up for the first time in, I think, 8 months was the last time we had an open slot. So if you guys are interested in getting a new manga shipped to you every single week for less than $1 a day, check out the Patreon link down below. It is the Manga Club tier, and I ship it for free. Shipping is included in the tier. That's the last thing I wanted to say, everybody. Thank you so much for giving me that 2-week kind of figure everything out with the Great Coffee Spill of 2019 thing. We are back on track. Videos every single Wednesday, live streams every single Saturday. New Twitch link down below if anybody's interested in watching me study throughout the week. I'm on there just running flashcards and showing people my method. All right, have a good week. Love hard, love deep, and I will see you all next week.
悩む